Good morning. It's a great pleasure to be with you today in one of the most important conferences that I am always interested to share is the Understanding China conference. My name is Essam Sharaf. I'm a professor of transportation engineering, Cairo University, and I'm a former Minister of Transport and former Prime Minister of Egypt. Don't worry, I'm not gonna give a talk about political aspects, but I'm going to speak about my journey with China that actually extends for 20 years. First visit was in 2005 when I was a Minister of Transport, and believe me that I was the only minister requested to visit China. At that time, I started reading a lot about China, and I am sure that China is a great nation by nature. No other ministers actually request to visit China. So at that time also, there was a lot of, talks from the Western side about China that actually were not a reality by any means. I visit China, visit especially transportation-related projects, and also I met several people, and I can tell you that all what I heard from the Western news was a kind of fake. I saw discipline, I saw respect, I saw great projects at that time, 2005. When I returned back to Egypt, I told my colleagues in the cabinet, we are witnessing the rise of a great nation. Improved my readings and understanding of a lot of things about China. The second visit was in 2014. 2014, a few months after President Xi launched the great initiative, Belt and Road Initiative. And I gave a talk about, that was only a few months after the launching the initiative, and I gave a talk about what I expect from the Belt and Road Initiative, and especially for Global South, and especially for my area, Arab countries, and of course for Egypt. And I believe I gave a good lecture at that time. Since then, after that, I visit China about 50 times. After this 50 times, and in different capacities, different locations, different people, I can say that China is a purposeful, thoughtful, and deeply human architecture. And that really, when I thought about that, I tried to explain a lot of things, and I found that these three, purpose, thoughtful, and human, is the basic characteristics of China when it deals inside China and outside China. After that, I started to ask myself, how come China succeeded in doing that internally and externally? And I believe, as an engineer, it came to my mind that China solved a very difficult equation, the equation that balancing domestic modernization with the global responsibility. It's really very difficult. It's easy to say, but it's very difficult. When I talk about domestic modernization, I'm talking about a systematic, sustained, continuous process. Start with deep reform, high quality development, and high standard opening up. There are three items, but actually they shape how China is working inside, outside. The point actually of the high standard opening up means that China has a good intention to deal with the world with the best that they can do. The other point, which is a global prosperity. China make a balance between domestic modernization and global prosperity. The global prosperity, without going into details, I believe they have two items. First, China is introducing and consistently formulating the issue or the concept of shared future. Shared future for people to believe in harmony, in peace, and in prosperity. And this is the main framework. But also China introduced mechanism for development, global development initiative, mechanism for peace, the global security initiative, and mechanism for harmonious and understanding each other in terms of the global civilization initiative. And recently, I believe the most important initiative or global initiative or public good global initiative is a global governance initiative, which actually put the framework people, especially global south, that they can experience, work with the world as equal, not right now. That's the balance between, as I said, local modernization and global prosperity. I thought also, how come China reached this stage? And I believe, and strongly believe, that the values behind the rise of China is the deep Chinese culture values, China's modernization, and also guide its engagement with the world. So let us put the deep cultures, characteristics of China that actually help China to balance between internally and externally. If I want to say final words, as I said, after my journey, 20 years journey with China in different capacities, I want to say that China is not rising alone. China is rising with the intention of lifting others. The success of China is an opportunity for many. This is the China I have known. Thank you very much.